The message came in the middle of a workday, as if it were something small. I sold the house for your brother's debts. We're moving in tomorrow. No greeting, no pause. Just a decision already completed. I read it twice, not because I didn't understand it, but because I did. There was a version of me, not even that long ago, who would have started rearranging things immediately. Cancel plans. Clear space. Figure out how to make it work without anyone feeling uncomfortable. That version of me moved fast, before resentment could catch up. This time, I didn't move. I sat there, phone in my hand, and noticed something quieter underneath the shock. Not anger, not even panic recognition. It wasn't the first time I had been informed like this, just the first time it felt so complete, final, like my role had already been decided without needing my agreement. I tried to picture tomorrow. My mother's bags in the hallway, my brother on the couch, restless, loud, carrying his problems into every room like they belonged there. I could already feel the adjustment happening inside me. The familiar shrinking, making space, making excuses, making it seem reasonable. That's when I understood something I hadn't let myself say before. If I let this happen again, it wouldn't be temporary, it would just become my life. I typed slowly. I just sold mine too. I didn't explain. I didn't soften it. Then I booked a one-way flight to the coast. Not dramatically, no rush. Just a series of quiet decisions that, once made, didn't leave much room for reversal. 15 minutes later, my phone rang. My brother. I let it ring longer than I normally would. Long enough to notice the silence around me, the way the room didn't feel crowded with expectation for once. When I answered, he was already mid-sentence. You can't just, what is this? Mom said you. What are you doing? I held the phone away slightly, not to avoid him, just to hear him more clearly. The urgency wasn't about me leaving, it was about something slipping out of his reach. I'm leaving, I said. There was a pause, but not the kind that invites conversation, the kind that prepares for resistance. You're serious? He asked, like seriousness was the problem. Yes, another pause, then louder, sharper. So what, you're just going to disappear while we deal with this? We. That word sat there, heavy with assumption. I looked around my apartment, or what used to be mine, technically. The boxes were already gone. The space felt unfamiliar, like it had detached from me faster than I expected. I've already dealt with it, I said. He didn't understand that answer. I could hear it in the way his voice tightened, searching for a different angle. You always do this, he said. You act like you're above it. That almost made me smile, but not in a way I would have recognized before. Above it, as if stepping out of something meant thinking you were better than it. I'm not above it, I said. I'm just not in it anymore. He started to respond, but then stopped. Something had shifted, even if he didn't have the words for it, because this wasn't an argument. There was nothing left to negotiate. The house was sold. Mine too. There was no space to move into, no extra room to rearrange. No version of events where I quietly adjusted and made it work, not because I refused, because I had removed the option. I don't know what you expect us to do, he said finally, and this time it was quieter. Not softer, just less certain. I didn't answer right away, not to punish him, just because the question didn't belong to me anymore. I think you'll figure it out, I said. It wasn't encouragement. It wasn't dismissal. It was the truth, stated without carrying it for him. When the call ended, I didn't feel relief the way I thought I might. It was something more neutral, like stepping out of a loud room and realizing how much noise you had been filtering without noticing. At the airport, everything felt temporary in a way that made sense. People moving with purpose, but not permanence. No one expecting you to stay. I sat by the window, watching planes land and leave, and tried to measure what I had done. It didn't feel brave, it didn't feel cruel either, it just felt accurate. For the first time, my choices matched what I had been feeling for years but never acted on. That didn't make it clean, there was still a weight to it. Not guilt exactly. Something closer to absence, like a space that used to be filled by obligation, now empty, waiting to see what would replace it. When boarding was called, I stood up without hesitation. No last-minute doubts. No sudden urge to explain myself again. Just movement. I didn't know what the coast would feel like, or whether this version of distance would hold. But I knew one thing clearly. This time, no one was waiting for me to make room, and I wasn't waiting to be asked.